Okay, like the 5th billion attempts. So right now I'm in the middle of cooking. So if you hear some sizzling and you hear me dying in back, why? You hear some stuff in the background, you know why. But retcon, for the time being, I'm gonna stop the tournament. First last, if I make a Patreon, he's giving special treatment. But first last had some valid points about some things he was saying and stuff. Try to get that angle. So I was doing things all wrong, but that's beside the point. I'm gonna retcon the whole tournament in a moment here, but this what if is going to be. What if Deku had a nice ability and don't necessarily worry about it per se if you were like a big fan of the tournament? Because I kept naming it different things because I didn't really know what name to put it, but I should have just kept it as what if Deku knows how to control time, what if? So people know what they're coming to, and then after you watch the video, you're like, oh, he's doing the tournament on this, so. But how we're gonna start this bad boy off is gonna be pretty much like, 1 second. Where the fuck is my pen? Oh, this nigga here didn't clean it. Alright, so back to what I was trying to say. We're gonna start this whole what if off dummy quick because it's not really much to talk about. And I will be getting my Funimation pretty soon. So I should be able to, catch up to season 4 and I can revive some of the older what ifs. But Deku controlling ice makes the story a lot different because early on when he talks about all men are not created equal, he's immediately gonna be referring mainly to himself. And instead of Kachan beating down on him, he's beating down on Kachan, but not maliciously. And his power is a little counter to Bakugo's. So that makes for the story to be a lot different. So instead of them hating each other, it's more of a rivalry, one-sided rivalry. I can't speak today. Rivalry. I'm saying this right. I'm sorry. Rivalry. And because Bakugo, but the difference is it's kind of like a Whis and Beerus relationship where when Bakugo starts trying to act a certain way, Deku's just like, bruh, chill out. Also, the bigger difference in this story, and since his ability is so similar to Todoroki's, him and Todoroki, this is just me making some bullshit happen. But him and Todoroki actually meet while they're younger. So they're actually going to be friends a lot sooner. And I actually did another take of this, but basically, Deku talks shit to Endeavor all the time because this Deku's a lot more confident because he knows he's dummy strong. He knows he's powerful and stuff. Should I get those clothes first? Nah. Deku knows he's strong and like he understands that they're quirkless people. Like he understands. He doesn't know their struggle, but he can see it. He can see it. And he knows how it's kind of like someone that's so naturally gifted, they have their own problems because they're so above everyone, no one can understand their struggle. Because they're like, what struggle do you have? You have an amazing quirk. You don't know how we suffer with no quirk. But literally, people automatically expect this dude to become a god tier hero. Thankfully, he wants to become a god tier hero. But people expect it of him because of his OP-ness quirk. Now you might be saying, okay, what makes his quirk so OP? Nothing inherently makes his quirk like god tier, but it's just a really strong quirk with really low, with pretty much no downtime. So it's kind of like Todoroki's quirk, but on both sides, and he has more fine control over it and stuff. So he's strong. All right. Now let's get into more of the characters and stuff. So the relationship that Deku has made now is literally Todoroki comes home and sees him fighting with fighting with his dad. That's literally like a normal occurrence. You can literally see flames and ice going off in the background because I'm pretty sure they had a big house, if I'm not mistaken. So everyone's just like, oh, they're back at it again. Todoroki's like, so talking to everyone. This version of Todoroki is actually going to be a lot more nicer than the one in canon. That'll make more sense when we get into like the licensed division and stuff. And he doesn't hate his dad nearly as much because Deku half the time pipes in. Now, I'm not saying Deku is on man's level, but due to the exact counter and Deku being smart because using ice and all that type of stuff, it's literally just man's it's about how creative he is. And since he's still a young boy at this time in the story, his creativity is still pretty high. So half the time he's doing tactics and stuff since he can't outright brute strain it, brute force it, where he could just overpower man and freeze his quirk down. You get what I'm saying? So with that being said and with that being meant, they're fighting all the time. Deku is getting a good amount of training. Deku also spends nights at Bakugo. So then eventually he has the idea, hey, maybe my two best friends should meet each other. Because he respects Kacchan because he has a pretty strong quirk and he trains. He respects Todoroki because Todoroki still trains. And he also uses his fire side a lot early on. Because he said, no, we're not having none of this buffoonery, alright? Y'all gonna make up now. And he froze the area in the surrounding it. He froze it like with some super strong guys. Y'all are not leaving here until I say otherwise. You gotta remember, it's like imagine like a 5-year-old with All Might's power. Not necessarily the equivalent, but his power is based around creativity. But enough of me trying to justify it. So, with that being said and shit, right? They make up a lot earlier, and how you see Endeavor in the manga as of when this video is being made. Season 4 just came out for the anime for any of you future viewers. That's kind of how Endeavor is leaning towards now. So he's making amends a lot early on because of Deku's influence. So Bakugo, Deku, Todoroki, they're actually associates. So Todoroki's able to get on by recommendations. When the sludge villain attack happened, time skip. When the sludge villain attack happened and stuff, right? Deku easily, one-shots, man. He freezes him. Then he makes his spear because he was doing some training. Because this Deku has training with all sorts of weapons. Since he literally can make the weapons. And then after he makes the weapon, he can bend the weapons to however he wants. He trains with weapons very frequently. And then he also goes by to masters and stuff. And get to train with them. Why, you say? Well, it's simple. He shows off his quirk, or he'll help a certain place out. He has very good repertoire. Reputation, alright? Because people see him all the time and he's always doing stuff. If it's a hot day outside, he'll make it very nice and chilly for everyone. So it's like a nice cool day. Make some snow cones. He is just kind of the man known around the block and stuff because of how nice and how awesome he is, alright? So with that being said, people willingly want to help man's out. He's kind of like not One Piece. He's kind of like a Luffy and stuff, right? Where people just gravitate towards him. Hold up. So, with that being said and stuff, right? He's able to get a lot of training in. He's able to get a lot of mentors to help him out and stuff. So, he knows a lot about weapons. So, he one-shots the villain. Easy. All Might says, if you want to, he pretty much offered, a recommendation. He said, I'll take it. I don't think All Might has an academy or an agency like other heroes do. So I'll just say All Might, eventually does later on offer him one for all. And what I was going to do originally, right, was I was going to make it where he takes it right away. Here, this is what I'll do. I'll go on the hypothetical where I make him take it right away. And I'll put a poll up, asking what y'all think. Because I'm pretty sure we're all on the same accord most of the time. Because y'all are like, hell yeah, make them OP, make them OP. And that's pretty much how we always are. But if y'all want me to give it to Todoroki or Bakugo, I can. I'm gonna go ahead and put a poll though, because I do not want to just go based off the comments, because some people answer the comments, some people don't. So the poll's gonna be right there. You just do a little clicky click. Anywho, enough of me talking about that bullshit. After he does that with All Might and whatever, and he gets One for All, gets the dummy power up. And by the way, the story will still be the same. The only difference is he doesn't have One for All. So, with him having One for All and stuff, it doesn't really change much. He's just able to use it, and he has green ice. That's literally the only difference. But he doesn't train. Okay, I'm gonna retcon something before it needs to be retconned. I'm not gonna give it to him. I'm gonna give it to Bakugo. I think that would make it this a lot more interesting. So, how we're gonna do this? He has it. So instead of him getting it, he basically brings in Todoroki and Bakugo because he knows how much they like fucks with All Might and stuff, right? So he brings them into the fray and talks about it. And Todoroki's like, I'm pretty strong and I want to become strong with my own power. And he says, well, Kachan, you do a lot of training and stuff, so why don't you take it? He's hesitant at first. And then he's like, what are you trying to say, Deku? You're trying to say I'm weak? No, Kachan. But see, this Deku has a little more backbone. He's like, no, you're not weak. It's just, I think you can use this. This would help you out a lot. Look, I was born with an amazing quirk. You was too. But our quirks literally counteract each other. Todoroki, his quirk balance out. It was basically like this. Todoroki can neutrally cancel out both of theirs in theory, while Deku can counteract Todoroki and Bakugo. And so it's kind of like a real circle. So he's saying if you got this, it would help you out a lot. So what ends up happening is when they start training before the entrance exam, and once again, I'm going to say this is slightly a little bit earlier than the entrance exam. So it's all going to be them all training with All Might. And they're all going to know early on, which that'll help the story out. So they're going to just be training and doing all sorts of stuff. Bakugo is trying to learn One for All, but since he's stronger, he's able to use, I'll say 25% off gate, okay? And then the training, so that might bump him up to 30, 35 or whatever, right? And after that happens, they, not sports festival, I'm too ahead. The entrance exam happens. Todoroki isn't there. He doesn't need to be there. Bakugo's about to test out his, new powers and stuff. He's like, yeah. And, man, but Deku's like, damn. He's laughing internally, like, this is about to be very unfortunate for y'all. Todoroki notices in the stands, like, wait, why does Deku have that face? At times, he makes a very evil, sinister face. Don't know if that's due to him being cold all the time, technically. Not cold to where it hurts him or anything, but just he's cold all the time. But he kind of got used to it after a while. And Todoroki's like, what is he planning? So what happens is, it starts, everyone's ready. People are confused on why Deku's holding himself like this. But after they hear a really loud roar, ice shower! Ice goes out everywhere. And before he did this, what ended up happening, right, was he jumped up really high just to get a few views, came back down. Ice shower. Ice is going to every robot in literally nearly an instant. It's just like mass about of ice. And then after it happened, it would be kind of like a funny scene because I see people like shivering and stuff, and some of them having jackets for some reason. And literally everyone would be puzzled. Like, how? Explain. How? Excuse me? Huh? So with everyone puzzled and confused, everyone's like, "Oh, okay." And Deku already began his second attack, which his ice can help him sense stuff in the surrounding without actually looking at it. But he knows the 0 point robot is nearby, so he's like, "I'm not done yet. I'm not done. I am not done yet." So with them being like that, they're like, "All right." They announce the 0 point robot. 0 point robot comes out. Everyone says, "Fuck it, we're not getting any points anyways." Everyone starts running, just running maliciously. Bakugo says, "Fuck that. This robot might not give me any points or whatever, but I am going to still do something." Deku already saw that Udaraku was down and out, so he covered her with some ice, and he rose up. Meanwhile, Bakugo's really trying his hardest to get up there, and also you got to know that is dummy cold, so that's a very big issue for Bakugo. So it's taking him a minute to get his heat up and his sweat up. So he's struggling to even get as high as he's trying to get. So he's struggling. And Deku waits. He says summon. And then strikes. So all the ice that he just had on the ground literally impales the robot. And before the robot it blows up, he pushes himself back down with ice and shoots the robot up into the feet 1,000 shoot the robot 1,000 feet into the sky. It blows up. And then ice is surrounding the whole area. He surrounds the whole area to protect everyone. And then that's it. They literally have to do it again. Whew, okay, press the right button. So, after that happens, I think they would have to do a big body whole... No... I think they would have to do a whole reschedule, right? And so they would have to redo it, and then this would be more around the time they would have done it in canon. This is kind of why I was trying to put that down there. With this happening, everyone would be kind of confused. Even Endeavor that fought the kid, he's like, that brat was holding back this whole time? So that would be very funny. All Might would be like, great Jesus, oh Lord, maybe I've made a mistake. No. I think, hold up. Grab my condoms. I think All Might would have been like, maybe the kid had a point. He said he was stronger. This would have been a flashback. He said the kid said he was strong enough on his own. Oh God, what would have been like with All For One? Oh, I don't want you to even think about it. So, after that whole situation is settled, All Might is literally wetting himself. Not literally, but close enough. Everyone's confused. Most of the people that were there are just like, really now? We was in here with this monster? That's kind of how they're treating Mans right now. But after that, they redo it, and pretty much everyone in canon passed. But I'm going to say this man is held in high esteem due to the fact of what he did for obvious reasons. And people were just kind of baffled, like, oh my God, how'd he do that? So for the time being, that won't make any dramatic story changes. Because I'm not trying to change the story by that much. Oh, well, I know there's going to be at least one viewer. Like, I want to know what you were cooking. Made me some sandwiches. This is plants. This is the actual meat. It's a vegan patty. Anyways. And no, you can't have a bite. So with that being said, we're gonna go now. After everyone's done that, the second class starts. Everyone's on Man's bumper, so it's him and Todoroki. Actually, Bakugo gets a little bit of this love too, because of the fact that he was able to, because Deku was moving at high speeds right before he destroyed the robot, And Bakugo was right there. Even though he wasn't like on man's like 100%, he was pretty close to being on man. So he gets a little bit of the steam too, but his attitude kind of deters most of the females from talking to him. Even though Deku tells him to calm down with that, it's annoying. And Bakugo knows Deku's stronger than him, so he's like, They do all the events. Most of that stuff is not similar to canon because Bakugo won't be barking at Deku like, how you get so strong all of a sudden. Bakugo's constantly in the race trying to keep up with Todoroki and Deku, but his ego is not nearly as big because he's seen someone with a better quirk than him off rip. So he doesn't think he's God sent anymore. He just kind of understands that there's other people with God tier quirks just like me. I'm not special. And it will take hard work, blah, 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 all that good jazz. They do the little assessments, nothing major happens. Then, since there's enough people, we're going to go, I'm trying to make sure I keep this in canon. Yeah, the USJ attack happens right after. So they're going to do the little 1v1 ordeal, right? And I'm going to have to do this the classic traditional way where it's how I have Uraraka with them and then Todoroki and Bakugo because I think that would be a lot better of a fit. And he literally tells Uraraka, how do you want to do this? We can do this where you work with me or I can just go over there myself. She's like, and they actually devise a plan, but if that was like a TV show or whatever, you wouldn't see them devising a plan. You think they're just going to go in as solo dolo or whatever, be reckless. So what happens is they make it appear like they're going in guns blazing and Deku's going in by themselves, which Bakugo and Todoroki said he's strong enough. He'll probably just try to overpower us, even though he doesn't typically do that. He'll probably just try to overpower us or whatever, right? So instead of Bakugo being like, I'm gonna kill him, they make a plan to like wait for him out, right? So instead of ice being everywhere or ice going everywhere, Todoroki plays it safe and plays it smart, and he puts flames everywhere. So he has flames, and once again, he's a lot more better with his flame sides. I would say they're arguably equal. So he puts flames everywhere. This helps him and Bakugo, because Bakugo is building up a good sweat with his new gauntlet devices and stuff, and they're ready. Those holes are charged like off the gate a lot early on, and everyone's baffled because they're like, wait, what are those things he got around him? And why do they look like grenades? And when this happens, the fight begins. The fight begins. Deku walks in, big dick energy and everything. He like, time to whip some ass real quick. They're like, nah. We not about to take no light L. Bakugo goes at it real quick and fast with it too. He's using one for all and everything. They throwing good blows. Deku has not used this ice yet. Bakugo is really puzzled. He's like, is he gonna use his ice? When's he gonna use his ice? He throwing explosions and stuff. Deku's just weaving. Cause this man, he did do a lot of boxing and a lot of learning how to kick and stuff, because he was like, what if I fight someone that, cause he's fought Endeavor enough times. See how that plays back? He fought Endeavor enough time for where his ice became kind of semi-useless, or it became kind of like water. So he was kind of in a stalemate, so he had to learn how to fight, and he kind of took a couple of moves from Endeavor, but he'll never admit to that. And so they're fighting or whatever, they're throwing hands. Todoroki is waiting for his chance to strike. He's waiting for his golden opportunity to help out, making sure he's keeping the flames fresh too. And he's also, the second he enters, he covered off all the exits and stuff, right? And so this is happening, the fight's going on and on, it's getting heated, right? But eventually Todoroki says, we're not doing this. So it's on some like Radix and Goku. Hold up, Goku and Piccolo versus Radix, right? He weave, kick. It's just super flames. No pun intended. They are throwing some good hands, and it's just like boom, because Bakugo is like constantly getting sweatier, right? So they're about to initiate their big plan. And so they have a team combo because they be working on team combos, which Deku even told them, like, if y'all want to do some team combos, because I know y'all can't beat me because they fought in the past, I won't listen, you know? You might actually get me off guard. So what ends up happening is they do their move, right? Deku runs away behind like a wall. This isn't part of his plan. And they say, now! So Bakugo gets kind of immersed in the flames, and he actually built up his tolerance to heat a lot as he does his spinning move. And so what happens is he does that little hell zone. I don't remember what it's called. He does the little spinning move he does. And then after he does that move, right immediately, Todoroki starts shooting out flames and flame kicks and stuff to add on to the damage. And they see Deku still standing like, is that all you got? And you can hear it. The reason I say you can hear it is so All Might doesn't be like, oh, maybe I should stop this. And all that dumb. And when that happens, right? He's like, is that all you got? Todoroki screams up, no! He uses just a little bit of ice to like kind of bind Deku so he can't move. But it happens so fast it doesn't matter. Instead of just using one of them, he uses two of his both of them. So he says, final, no pun intended, final explosion. Funny thing is, that's the name of a move me and a homie made a long time ago, but it was mainly me. But that's a different point for a different episode. He says, final explosion. Boom, poof. Busting a hole through the wall, through some buildings that are over. Everyone, All Might bugs out about this. All right, that's enough. That blah, blah. No one's paying attention. They're just curious if their team efforts actually made a difference. Meanwhile, you see from the rubble, Deku with his clothes and stuff battle damaged. And you see a vein popping out. Ice. That hurt. He steps, and then like in an instant, he's in both of their faces. He grabs both of them, pulls them down to the ground, and then starts kicking them, punching them, both at the same time. Boom, boom, boom. They're just like, damn it, that was our strongest team combo. They're puzzled, right? They both get up, they're like, so they just beat. The fight still continues on while Deku's just kick, backflip, kick, weave, make them hit each other. He's just on some Big Daddy Dick status and shit, right? So after he's done with all this folding and stuff, he's like, y'all know y'all have lost already, right? I'm just letting y'all get a chance to fight me. They're like, what? Impossible. And then like the screen would get dark and you'd be like, it'd kind of be like, are you saying I'm lying? And they feel the meanest chill in their whole existence, right? And he says, I asked you a question. As like everything starts to feel slightly cold, and they don't know if that's fear or them actually feeling cold. Do you think I am lying? Bakugo says, listen, I know you're powerful and all, but I don't think you'll easily. That's all I needed to hear. Freeze. The whole, like where Bakugo and Todoroki was, that shit became literally below temperature frosty in like an instant. He's like, literally the air particles you could see in the air were frosty. Bakugo is out of commission for obvious reason. Todoroki is still able to like withstand it due to him having some heat. So he's just like, he's literally barely able to keep his flame above. And he says, listen, you've lost this fight before it even began, all right? Because I already knew y'all thought I was going to big dick energy it, come in all. I can easily take y'all. I'm not stupid. I fought Endeavor all the time. I learned a few things from him. I'll never admit to those, what those things were. Anywho, the point is simple, all right? You need to be listening for this part. If I wanted to end this match, this is exactly what would happen. Unfreeze. And it's not the fact that he's saying unfreeze and it unfreeze it. It's just so clear everyone understands what he's doing for the viewers, per se. If it was real, I think he would just probably snap. But then again, it's kind of a flex. If someone said burn and everything burned down, you know how, Anyways, he said unfreeze. So everyone's literally trying to catch themselves. Watch this. He makes a small instrument that doesn't take much ice and much coldness to do. And it makes like a snap noise. Uraraka with her jacket on. Oh, that's the signal. She runs, grabs like this big thing of ice and just hits something. And the whole floor just all the way until they hit the bottom, right? Uraraka, he made sure she was... He kept those boys from taking much damage, but he still kind of said, fuck y'all bitches. Just a little bit. Thinking you're stronger than me and shit. Know your place, you fucking piece of trash. And as that happens or whatever, everyone is just like, huh? And Deku looks, be like, look where Uraraka's at. Uraraka. Yeah, you forgot I had a teammate, didn't you? Yeah. They're like, they just feel stupid at this moment. Like they knew he had a teammate, but they didn't really think he was gonna use him. So let's say on the off chance you was able to keep up with me. Well, let's say you was actually able to come close to beating me. Maybe not beating me. I still had a plan for just in case. So they'd be like, wait a minute. So you were, Bakugo with his voice, so you were just toying with us? No, not at all. I was fighting seriously. I might have had a team combo that I didn't know about. It was some training I was doing. I don't know what y'all was doing. Y'all wasn't fully. He's fucking with them a little bit because like he knows he's powerful. It's kind of like a bitch that knows she's fine. It's kind of like that. He knows he's dummy strong, so he's like, what? I was doing some training. I thought that's what we were doing. It wasn't like y'all were fighting serious or anything, right? They're literally just looking at him like Saitama face be doing. This is what we doing. This is how we living. It's just too priceless. Anyways, they be like, all right, yeah. Now that that's been over with, Uraraka hasn't touched you yet. Like, all right, now that that's done, said and done, y'all wanna call it one? Todoroki and Bakugo started laughing maniacally. You should have finished just when you had the chance. In an instant, Todoroki makes a shitload of ice, and Deku's like immediately got on guard, right? And hold up, I'm just thinking about what's about to happen. It's about to be priceless. And